this program of in-depth reports, interviews and commentaries. First, the highlights. Nigeria reopens borders with Niger Republic.
Oyo government begins phase 1 of demolitions along Circular Road.
Kano Hizbur arrests 11 Muslims for eating during Ramadan fast.
Donald Trump, Joe Biden win party's presidential poll nomination.
Now the details. President Bola Tinubu has directed the opening of Nigerians' land and air borders with the Republic of Niger. He also directed the lifting of other sanctions across the country with immediate effect. This was contained in a statement signed by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngilali. President Tinubu has also approved the lifting of financial and economic sanctions against the Republic of Guinea. This directive comes just days after the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government lifted economic and travel sanctions on Niger, Mali, Guinea at its extraordinary summit on February 24, 2024 in Abuja. ECOWAS leaders had agreed to lift economic sanctions against the Republic of Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso and Guinea.
The federal government has commenced vocational training to empower inmates in Nigeria's 241 correctional facilities to prepare them for life after incarceration. This was disclosed today by the Senior Special Advisor to the President on Technical, Vocational and Entrepreneurship Education, Abiola Arobundade, at a press conference in Abuja. She said President Bola Tinubu is concerned with the reintegration of the inmates into society, adding that each beneficiary will get a grant of 500,000 naira once they complete the skills acquisition program. The Nigerian Correctional Service has a total of 241 custodial facilities, 85 satellite custodial centers, 15 farm centers, 2 custodial open camps, 4 institutions, 7 training schools, and non-custodial services across the country. Mrs. Arobundade identified some of the available vocational skills as fashion designing, computer training, hair making, fish farming, soap making, and poultry business. She further stated that the beneficiaries are those who have few months left on their sentences, adding that the program was modeled after a similar scheme being run successfully in Norwegian prisons.
Director General of the World Trade Organization, WTO, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has called on the federal government to secure the release of students recently abducted by bandits in Sokoto and Kaduna states. She spoke in Abuja at the launch of the WTO ITC 2024 Technical Assistance Program for Nigeria. Mrs. Okonjo-Iweala, who expressed sadness over the abductions, was however hopeful that the students will be rescued soon. Recall that over 200 students were recently abducted after bandits raided the government secondary school Kurunga in Chukun local government area of Kaduna State. In a related development, bandit stroke in Gidan Bakuso in Bada local government area of Sokoto State, abducting about 15 Tizangaya students with several others missing.
Meanwhile, the recent abduction of children and women by bandits and other criminal elements operating in the country is a ploy to discredit the federal government as well as heighten public sentiment against the current administration. These were the views of security stakeholders while reacting to the presidency's claim that the sub-regional forces are working to destabilize the country. We'll bring you details of this report later.
The federal government has postponed the launch of the Nigerian Students' Loan Scheme indefinitely. Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, Akintunde Sawyer, made this known in a chat with newsmen in Lagos. The scheme was originally scheduled to commence on Thursday. Mr. Sawyer explained that the delay is due to some adjustments being made regarding the launch. Recall that President Tinubu announced that the scheme would commence in January 2024 after the government failed to meet the October 2023 deadline. Olanike Adeyemo enjoined all eligible candidates of Oyo State origin to visit the portal for the online registration, open from 20th February 2024 to 13th April 2024. According to the statement, candidates are to purchase the scratch cards and past question booklets at the cost of 1,500 naira and 500 naira respectively at room 53, Office of the Governor Secretariat, Ibadan.
Similarly, admission process into the 76th regular course of the Nigeria Defense Academy has commenced. A release signed by the Secretary to the Oyo State Government, Professor Olanike Adeyemo, urged all interested candidates of Oyo State origin to log into the application portal www.ndapplication.net before 30th April 2024. The release stated that candidates who obtain the minimum JAM scores for NDA will be invited for screening tests at selected centers across the country on the 27th of May 2024. Successful candidates from the screening test will be subsequently invited for an interview by the Armed Forces Selection Board at the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna, while the list of admitted candidates will be published thereafter.
The Oyo State Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development has commenced the Phase 1 demolition of buildings constructed around secular roads in the state. This exercise was in compliance with the directive of the State Governor, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, towards the construction of secular roads in developing Oyo State. Our reporter, Olamide Olabi, was with the demolition team. Our report is being presented by Victor Okune.
In a bid to restore law and order in achieving the development and expansion of Oyo State for economic growth in compliance with the directive of the State Governor, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, the State Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development demolished illegal structures built within 500 meters of circular roads. The team was led by the Director of Physical Planning, Mr. Femi Akinwale, to Badeku area of Ibadan. The residents of the Badeku area were earlier issued a 3-week heat notice on the 15th of January 2024, the 9th of February 2024, and a reminder on the 10th of March 2024 respectively to vacate the environment which is going. According to the ministry, those that have official documents and legal structures have been compensated. Properties worth billions of naira, including a church and newly laid house foundations, were demolished. After the construction of Ibadan-Lagos Circular Road, construction of Ibadan-Ife and Ibadan-Kwara Circular Roads are expected to follow.
Recent trend of insecurity in parts of Nigeria has become worrisome for both the government and the populace. This is so as palpable fears continue to heighten with attacks on soft targets by the criminal elements. The bandits had recently embarked on abduction spree, kidnapping no fewer than 287 pupils and students of primary and secondary schools in Kuriga, Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. It is equally noteworthy the abduction of 16 residents of Goningora, Kaduna State, late February, while a number of students were equally abducted in the Sangaya School in Gidan Bakuso, Gada local government area of Sokoto State. The terrorists had also in recent raid of 3 IDP camps in Gamborun Gala local government area of Borno State, abducting no fewer than 40 women and children. The special advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Nigerian Gelali, had in an interview alleged that the heightened insecurity was a manifestation of some sub-regional forces' conspiracy against the stability of the country. Reacting to the allegation, a security researcher, Professor Yesoji Aremu, said the presidency must have had its facts before coming up with such claim.
If you are able to look at all these scenarios, they all pointed to the one area that some people are really out to make this administration or the governance of this country at this time around unstable. I'm also surprised, of course, when I heard the kind of the ransom they are asking the government to pay, 40 trillion naira. I said, wow, that was unprecedented, talking about asking for ransom. So in view of that, the presidency has its facts, as I've said, has the intelligence to so assert, to so allege, or to so probably let Nigerians know what is going on. During the administration of Goodluck Jonathan, it wasn't as bad as this. Even the last administration to PMB, Muhammadu Buhari, 8 years, it was also not as bad as this. Just few months to this administration, we're having a kind of an upsurge, which is so disturbing. And now people begin to worry exactly where are we going? What could be responsible for this? We should not be unmindful of what is happening in Sahel region, especially during the ECOWAS something. We now have 3 countries of ECOWAS who are no longer part of ECOWAS. Whether we like it or not, those countries that were asked to go from ECOWAS are preventing the kind of a security beef up along the borders. And for that very reason, there will be inflow of all these non-state actors, these bandits and terrorists to the country.
Also reacting, a security expert, Professor Nelson Fashina, said the allegation may not be far from the truth, adding that the heightened insecurity could be a reflection of the agitations from some quarters.
People are also agitating, for economic reforms. Things are hard for everybody in this country. And so when things are hard, innocent children and youths that have vitals of energy will convert them to negative usage, to make sure that, they engage government in a way that they will feel, that they are protesting. So these are protests.
The security stakeholders pointed out the abductors are targeting women and children to raise public tension.
Inspired for the vote by the National Security Advisor, it's as if we are not really getting answer to the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, especially when it comes to soft targets. That is exactly what these people are now working on. Schools, women, even go back to the people in the IDP camps. So these are soft targets, and these are deliberately done in such a way that will make government uncomfortable.
Soft targets. When women are kidnapped, you know that the whole nation is kidnapped. Future is kidnapped. When children are kidnapped, we talk about women and children. Even in war, women and children have to be protected because the children represent the future, and then women represent, the very industry producing the future, the future. So as far as I'm concerned, they know that their statements will be more reinforced when women and children are actually kidnapped.
They both charged the federal government not to rest on its oars in overcoming the challenges. Adebayo Abdurrafi, BCOS News.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State in Ibadan. As Muslims around the world observe the holy month of Ramadan, the tradition of breaking fast with dates and water, followed by a variety of fruits, has long been cherished. However, this year, the soaring prices of fruits in the market have presented a challenge for those who are fasting as they strive to maintain their dietary practices. In this report, BCOS reporter Adiola Oladele takes a look at the health benefits of fruits during the Ramadan and strategies for coping with the current cost.
tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ à ń tàn so 200 ní ìṣe 500 là ń lé gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ti di góòdì tútù.
The current soaring inflation has not spared the fruit market, resulting in lamentations of low sales from the sellers. Some fruit vendors who spoke with BCS News lamented the impact of rising transportation costs on their businesses, noting that they are left with little choice but to pass on the burden to consumers through higher prices.
They sell kumba before 50, 100. Now the one of 100 naira, we sell it to 1,800 naira. We dey buy the bag before 3,500, 4,000. Now it's 20,000, 18,000.
Mango 500 mẹ́rin péré. Last year 3,500. Ó lára apẹ̀rẹ̀ ńlá. Ní ìsapẹ̀rẹ̀ kékeré lára 6,000. A tó máa fi 500 lé.
Fruits hold a special place in Ramadan traditions, not only for their hydrating properties, but also for their ability to replenish essential vitamins and minerals after a day of fasting. From dates, a traditional and symbolic choice for iftar, to watermelon, cucumbers, and oranges, fruits offer a natural source of energy and hydration while aiding digestion and supporting overall health. However, current soaring inflation has driven up the prices of fruits in the market, making it challenging for individuals and households already grappling with financial strain, especially during Ramadan. Prices of fruits such as watermelon, apples, oranges, pawpaw, cucumbers, and bananas, commonly enjoyed during Ramadan, have doubled compared to previous years. Now, one would spend at least 1,000 naira to purchase just 2 varieties of fruits, and in some cases, only one. While highlighting the benefits of enjoying a variety of fruits rather than sticking to favorites, a dietitian, Dr. Olayinka Abdulsalam, explained that different fruits are available at different seasons and the diverse intake ensures a well-balanced diet. He further spoke on how Muslims can manage the cost of purchasing fruits, especially considering the economic challenges in the country, without overspending while still enjoying nutritional benefits.
An average human today should eat 3 fruits, distributing it, because the nutritional benefit or the nutritional content of fruit is that it does not stay in our body because the nutrients are water soluble, the vitamins are water soluble. So that's why it's good for us to eat it at 3 different times, so that at each time we eat it, our body will benefit from it. For the benefit of Ramadan, we look at it and say, okay, which one among these fruits can we benefit from? Like I mentioned, we should try and focus on the fruit that are in season. They are less expensive most times. But if they are out of season, you see, people will start craving for it. Like orange is going out of season or it's just coming. So it's not advisable that we stick to orange alone. So it's better that we go for fruit like I mentioned, agbalumo, African star apple, or banana.
Some fruit buyers voiced their frustration but shared how they tend to cope with increased prices so they can continue to meet their nutritional needs during Ramadan.
Yes, I'm going to spend a lot on fruits because I love fruits and I like to take it, especially during Ramadan period. You can book like 500, 1,000 now, but before you can use 200 naira for fruit because we need fruit to break.
I went to buy coconuts which we can buy just 250, 300, they said 800 naira. Likewise, the purple, everything is too high in price.
I'll just buy what I can buy, whichever day it lasts.
Before, we are buying it just like 200 naira, but now something that we bought 200 last month. Right from now, they started selling it like 500, 400, 600. We are just managing because we don't have option.
The dietitian advised that despite economic strain, it is important for individuals to prioritize their health and well-being, especially during Ramadan. Adeola Oladele, BCS News.
Meanwhile, the Kano State Hisbah Board has apprehended 11 Muslims for violating the Ramadan fast by eating during the day. The arrests were made during the annual Ramadan enforcement operations, which included searches of eateries and markets. The board's public relations officer, Lawal Ibrahim, who confirmed the arrests in an interview with Newsmen today, said the arrests were made across the city, particularly near markets. He, however, explained that non-Muslims are
On the foreign scene, United States President Joe Biden and his predecessor Donald Trump have both passed delegates' thresholds to clinch the party's nominations.